Now, 2024 is poised to be the most interesting and shockingly silly season we might witness in a while, and two of the main actors that we should be paying close attention to are Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. With the latest renewal of Leclerc's contract, as well as Albon's last comments about receiving calls that are very hard to ignore from high-profile teams, 2025 might see these two in new environments. But is this something that Sainz is ready to commit to? Knowing that the close relationship that his father has with Audi will definitely serve its purpose, and more importantly, will Ferrari decide to let go of the Spaniard and put Albon alongside Leclerc? Ferrari's latest move, extending Leclerc to a multi-year contract that is very likely to bind him with the Maranello team until 2027, with the option to continue until 2029, is something that raised the worry in Sainz's situation as to whether or not Ferrari is ready to continue the collaboration with him on a multi-year contractual deal. The initial report is that Sainz doesn't want anything that goes below 2 years, and what Ferrari can agree on is a 1-year extension or a 1+1 ultimatum. The rumours from Italy reported that Ferrari asked Sainz to win at least 4 races in 2024 if he wanted his contract in 2025 to be extended. Be that as it may, it's not that hard to recognise that the situation between these two is more or less messed up. And now that Ferrari has clearly shown where their interest lies after investing in a heavy new contract with Leclerc, Sainz might not be in the best environment for his liking in 2024 and 2025. His top priority when entering a new season is to know where he'll be sitting in the upcoming one. In this case, that would be 2025. And while the belief is that Ferrari will extend his contract for 2025 as well, it will not come without a clause. To make things even spicier, Ferrari and another high-profile team tried to lure Albon from 2024 or 2025 onwards in the previous season, with both of these tries being unsuccessful. However, this is not something that will prevent the teams from trying again, and as Albon said, there might come a time where it's just too hard to say no to a team that's offering you machinery which you could fight for race wins, podiums, and eventually championships. Sainz has recently stated that his priorities lie with Ferrari and that an extension is coming soon, but not under any circumstances. Right now, the initial checkpoint that both sides need to agree on is the money, as well as the time of the contract, and these two hold quite a solid foundation for the relationship to go sour pretty quickly. With this in mind, Ferrari has all of their rights to look into another driver as Sainz's replacement, and so far, Albon seems to be on the shortlist of candidates, as multiple media outlets reported on this scenario happening later in 2024. This is a topic that's been further elaborated on by Lawrence Barretto, a renowned F1 journalist, who went on to add, "If an agreement between Sainz and Ferrari can't be done, Ferrari have no shortage of options to look upon, with Alex Albon possibly one of the most highly rated that's available. A move to a bigger team further up the grid will be a logical next step while his stock is still high." And we mustn't forget the fact that 27 out of Williams' 28 points in 2023 were scored by Albon, who carried the team into 7th place in the Constructors' Championship, holding off the late charge from AlphaTauri, now known as Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. However, with the upgrades coming to the Faenza team, and with rumours that they're most likely to be fighting top midfield, which suggests regular points finishes and fights with Alpine and Aston Martin, Williams might not be in the best place for 2024. On top of that, Albon has also stated that there comes a certain time where you have to utilise the best possible opportunities that come your way. And although he was not able to outperform Verstappen in Red Bull, which is something that only Ricciardo has done on one occasion, we've seen that there is a lot of potential for him to fight closely up front with a competitive team. After all, scoring so well with Williams, a car that was one of the worst on multiple occasions in 2023, is not something that should be underestimated, and Albon's defensive driving has been quite the highlight of the entire season. Therefore, providing him with a car that would certainly raise expectations from the Thai driver, as well as the Tifosi fans, is something that's very likely to happen in the middle of the 2024 season. Whereas Sainz would have to either drive one season in Stake F1 Sauber before they completely sell to Audi, or he would have to take a year off, considering that Audi would agree to this scenario in the first place. But there is one huge question that Ferrari needs to answer before they go down this road. Is Sainz actually worth replacing with Albon? And if the Thai driver turns out to be very competitive, is this the best environment for Leclerc when it comes to winning championships with Ferrari further down the road? The realistic goal for a championship winning team outside of Red Bull is 2026, even though there has been tons of talk about how 2024 will be much closer and how the rest of the teams have made huge steps. But if Albon somehow turns out to be the better driver than Leclerc in the new regulations, will Ferrari contradict themselves with the long-term contract they've signed with the Monegasque driver? Even though the Maranello team has constantly stated that there is no number 1 and number 2 driver in their team, it was quite obvious from the 3 joint seasons of Sainz and Leclerc that it would be the Monegasque driver who would be preferred in certain cases and scenarios. And while the team's primary issues revolved around the reliability of the car, as well as the tactic blunders, once that's all sorted out, they would have to deal with the competitive nature of their drivers. As for Sainz, it's no secret that his father has already opened up the door for a potential transfer to the German team, one with which he's won the 4th Rally Dakar Championship of his career. And when talking about this matter to a further extent, Sainz Sr. went on to say, "Audi is always a certainty to be successful. After all, I know how seriously they take every project. I also know well what the famous German mentality means in practice, both the good sides and not so good sides. But we just have to have a lot of respect for the Volkswagen Group with Audi as a part of it. We all know that Formula 1 is a special world, and I have a lot of respect for Audi. In my eyes, it's just a matter of time before they succeed in F1. I don't have a crystal ball, but the moment Audi decides to enter F1, they already command a lot of respect from me with that. Of course, it makes sense at Carlos's house to talk about what Audi can get done, all the more so because I'm a member of that Audi family." Obviously, Audi has been making some huge moves when it comes to signing high-profile engineers, 50 of whom were recruited from other F1 teams and 200 are being trained and put on a special F1-related program from inside their team. The CEO of the team, Gernot Dörner, said that the team has no time to waste, especially considering the fact that they're entering the season with a brand new engine of their own and would be considered legitimate rookies in the sport in this and every other area. This is why they have so many reasons to prove themselves and to prove to the sport that another engine manufacturing team could very well succeed if they're given enough place and time to show what they're capable of. On top of that, there are rumours that the CEO of Sauber Group, the company that sold its shares to Audi from 2026 onwards, Andreas Seidel, is already having close talks with Mattia Binotto regarding the role of team principal. A reunion between Binotto and Sainz would be the best possible scenario for the German team, considering that it wasn't the Spaniard who was not satisfied with how the Swiss engineer led the team, it was Leclerc. And it's no secret that Binotto's experience would come in more than handy for Audi. He's been in the sport ever since 1998 and has seen all kinds of changes in the engine regulations. So, considering the fact that 2026 will massively focus on the engine overhaul, Binotto's experience is definitely something that could push Audi in the right direction. With this in mind, do you think that Albon and Sainz will find their new teams from 2025 onwards? Let us know in the comments down below.